Hey everybody, my name's Chris Smith. You probably already know that if you watch our content on Universes Academy. Uh, just want to kind of give a generalized kind of deck profile, Nats recap, more of a personal experience. We just did the UA wrap up, Nats wrap up with Keenan Meadows and Tim Keefe last night, which was released as of today of recording, November 17th. Got my calendar right there. So I like to just talk about my general thoughts on some of the cards, because there was 49 Kirishima 2s, and I was one of those 49, and I piloted my deck to a top 8 finish, which means we got our invite to the HLC, which was goal number 1. It wasn't to win the event, it wasn't to get top 4. We wanted to get top 8 to get that HLC invite to the very first HLC Hero League Championship, where we're kind of immortalized as the first people to do this, which is cool. Which is really neat to be the first, which is awesome. So a couple things. I've already changed the deck, a couple cards moving forward. If I was going to play an online Nats this weekend, I'd probably play this again, just because it's just super good. It's super fun. It gave me a lot of All Might 3 energy, if that makes sense. The 6 hand size that cheats his hand size a bit. Instead of committing to, he gets to ready 2 cards or cycle 2 cards, which is kind of cool. But enough of that. Let's get into the deck. Let me change over to the actual deck profile screen. Give me a second. All right, so this is the deck. Sideboard's here. Got my little coin right here because the professor helped me out all weekend. Everyone knows what this man does. He's 627. Twice per turn, you get to cycle 2 cards into your staging area and draw 2 cards, get some damage. Also, he has a nice oh shit button on his face. There was a lot of times where I was just like, well, I have 2 cards in hand and a third with his ability. So I felt really safe playing this guy a lot. Given with the set 2 meta being what it was, and then with set 3 dropping, and we had no idea what the meta was going to look like, it seemed like a real good choice to take a couple powerhouses like the Momos, the Tokiyamis, the Kirishimas of the world. And I'm not a big 7 hand size player. I haven't had a lot of experience with Momo. I've had a couple games with her. Other than that, that's it. But like I said previously, this guy gave me a lot of All Might 3 energy, which is right in my wheelhouse. He could play that aggro game. He could play that push and pull mid-range game. He could go deep with deadlock effects because Earth has some of the best deadlock effects in the game. So he really has this gear shifting that he can do. He can pivot to whatever he needs to do depending on the game plan. So we're gonna get into the attacks. So first and foremost, the staple out of set 2, we got 4 back alley haymaker. This card does so much for so little. If you check a 3 on this, it doesn't matter because you build a 0 and you reset one with Kirishima's ability. So it's like, cool. I checked a 3 on a 5, but I get to see a billion cards, so that's kind of cool. Stun 2 is really good. I ripped that stun 2 off even if they had stun hate. If they can't be fixed, it didn't matter. I was just like, cool, do it. Pop it. Just get it out of the way now instead of having it actually matter at like a pivotal point in the game. We got 3x Hardened Chop, super good card, staple out of set 1. It was my only low attack in the entire deck. Resets a foundation for you. Gets rid of hand size, like it pluses you hand size over your opponent if they block. And it's also the freest 5 to 7 or 8 damage you'll ever get because nobody wants to block this. I'll get to this card after I'm done with this card. That should be at the end because I tried to cycle these. I tried to put these in X3s and stuff. So, Hardened Jab. This card needs no introduction. You plus hard off of this. Has a +1 high block. The worst part about it is it's a 3-speed mid. It got blocked all day, so unless they didn't have cards in hand. So this allowed you to kind of take the next gear in your attack turn, like after your second or third attack. This allowed you to ready a couple committed foundations, and with Kirishima's ability, you would go into your 5th, 6th, 7th attack with like a full board, and you would just be able to do some of the most nuttiest things with it. A late addition before the tournament, I kind of wanted like a speedy attack that didn't rely on stun, and I had my Robert deck with me, which was my Old Dogs New Quirks deck, and I got some mileage out of this playing the staff guys, and I really liked it. It cycles you a card, it gets you 4 speed at a pinch. Normally it was a really good opener on turn 2, 6i6. People got to dump some resources into that. But it gave me a +1 mid block, which was really nice because we're already playing a couple other another +1 mid block, so this gave us a +1 mid block on an attack. A lot of people don't really agree with this unless you're playing like the full kicks package, but I liked having that block on an attack. Yeah, maybe later game it isn't as valuable, but that +1 mid block saved me multiple times over the day. And 3 Hardened Frenzy. We got, really, do we need to talk about it? The card's nuts. It basically says throw on it early game. Late game, it builds you a foundation because they're not going to want to take damage. A lot of the times, I also use this as a low block because the low blocks in the deck aren't the best. We have a couple +2 lows, so it gave us an opportunity. Yes, it sucks to block with an attack, but man, it could save you. The MVP of the tournament in my deck, I believe, Hardened Uppercut, +0 high block, 3 low for 5, has EX2 on it randomly, and it can get 4 more damage for destroying 2 face downs. Like, I killed people with this. It was really good in the Tokiyami matchup in top 32. It allowed me to block a ruin and then say -2 speed to your next attack, which allowed me to block even more. I was able to chain 2 of them back to back against the Tokiyami, so it was just like, okay, cool, you can't kill me. And then it could randomly dumpster people. 9 damage plus Kirishima's 2 is 11. That's like half of a 7-hander. It chunks 6-handers really well. And then the last attack I played was Texas Smash. I played it as a 2x. I didn't really want to rely on, because I was playing a couple kicks, I didn't really want to have that weird clunky hand that if I had 2 Texas Smashes and then I had 2 kicks, I wasn't like, it didn't feel as bad because I could go smash, smash, kicks, or kick, smash, combo the 2 smashes, and then, you know, get more damage. But 2 felt really good. The +1 mid block was nice. The pitching the card for the next attack. So if I was throwing a high engine kick, there was times where I buffed a high engine kick and then pitched an attack to the high engine kick. It was super fast. It did tons of damage. I think 2 felt really good. And then Public Enemy #1 from the weekend, the card everybody wanted. Seizing the Advantage. This card does seize the advantage, to pardon the pun. You form commit, you get 2 speed on your next attack, you play the attack, you get to flip their best piece. You get to, as Tim Keefe says, snipe it. Earth already could snipe pretty well with Apathetics, but now it's on a 5 check. And it gives you speed, which Earth needs very, very, very much. There were times where I would pick my opponents. I'd pick like their speed hate or throw hate or damage reset, or like in top 8, I baited someone into using a Petty Squabbles by flipping their speed hate and feinting a Texas Smash attack damage, like carryover. So yeah, this card's nuts. It's super good, super good. Foundations. We're at 20 attacks, by the way, if people are counting at home. 20 attacks. Some deadlock hate, momentum gen, pull no punches. It's a punch lineup staple. It clears your card pool, gives you some good deadlock. But it's supposed to be last technically, but whatever. Yeah. 4, it can't be fixed. Stun hate, +1 high block. Card's really good for a 0 diff. You gotta love set 1 spam. It's super good. Allowed us to build when defending if we're getting stunned. Or if our opponent commits a card defensively on our side, we get to build one, which is sick. We got 3 tight lip. +1 high blocks are our friend. +1 mid blocks are our friend, where there's a vast majority of really good mid attacks. Plus it gives us damage for a flip. Then we can cycle it away with Kirishima if we need to. Yeah, pretty good utility card. I got a 1x quick to act. I had an XR, and I had like that, was it the best genius card in there, just placeholdering something, and I'm like, I'll put quick to act in there. I like taking damage to the face. If I'm less than half, I get 1 free speed. Not bad, not bad. And it's really cool. It's a neat card. To play along with our pull no punch momentum gen, we got 3 celebrity status. Being able to cycle the same chop in a turn or back alley haymaker, you know, just being able to reuse attacks that we don't have to rely on the draw that we know we're guaranteed. Because the next card that I'm going to show actually plays into this kind of momentum gen redraw our attacks package. Maybe the most hotly needed, wanted card right now outside of seizing is the counter to seizing. Chivalrous Competitor. It's a 1/5. Both players draw a card on a flip, and you can flip this to save a much needed foundation. It's in the quirk packs. I think it's been bought out a couple times already on TCG Player. I wish I would have bought all of them when they were $2. Not gonna lie, very jealous for those who did. But yeah, it's a super good card. I rarely drew did the both players draw. It actually cost me a game in round 6 where my opponent would have milled if I would have built this down instead of like a random low block, and I could have made them draw their last card in their deck and cycle. Scott, I'm looking at you. But yeah, it was really good. It was really good. Like, sometimes I didn't care what my opponent flipped was seizing or an apathetic or whatever, because there were some times where I personally had a fully face down stage because I was cycling with Kirishima so much. I was just like, well, I just need him to pass checks and you die. 3 manly passionate. I'm in the same camp as Jacob Johnson, that you win the mirror by building on your opponent's turn, so you can have more foundations to kill them. Yeah, super good staple. Here's part of our +2 low block package, everybody. Forcing Surrender, Tokiyami hate, Momentum hate. We do play 1 combo, so not that it activated that much, but it was, if we needed it, we had it. But it's mostly in there for the Tokiyami, Summon Dark Shadow hate, Momo hate to pitch the blocks. Yeah, came in handy. I sided in some of this against Robbie in top 32, totally paid off. Another piece of Kirishima staple. Homage to my hero. Free damage. Free damage. Free damage. Free damage. Low block, didn't care about it. Free damage, free damage, free damage. And then, we took damage to the face. We draw more cards. So it's just more card drawing engine to keep our hand up. Even if we didn't use Kirishima and we just face tank like a 5-6 damage attack, we still can draw cards. New training method allowed us to cheat our builds a little more safer if we had like a bunch of 2s in hand, or we didn't have a 0 in hand for that nice 4 build, or even a 5 build if we got lucky enough. And it allows us to pick up cards that we checked for blocks or possibly building them later. Here's a card I wish I had 1 more of in the deck, but I really wanted to keep it at a flat 60, Prehensile Tail. Again, it plays into that, let's grab our momentum, or let's get rid of our opponent's momentum, which is really nice. Or it has a nice deadlock hate while we play punches and kicks. Gets 3 damage and throw. Like, that just kills some decks because they don't have throw hate. So they have to be very careful, very cognizant of going into deadlock with against our Earth deck. Another card I would love to get a 1x in, Talented Baker. I prefer this over One with Nature. I'm not a big fan of the discard cost, especially in a 6-hander. 7-handers or like All Might 3 where you're able to plus on hand size. It's a little easier to facilitate that discard cost. But I like to spammy my buttons. Like spam, boom, 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 boom. Push my buttons. Because the speed kind of equals out over time in my mind. Because instead of discarding one card, you can be playing an attack that gets speed again. So it kind of equals out. Yeah, you do miss out on that once per hand step damage, but normally you had homages out anyways, so it kind of facilitated that. This is where I'm probably going to get bopped by Tim Keefe's blobs with the newspaper. I cut 2 Apathetic the morning of. It actually worked out pretty good having 5 pieces of snipe in the deck. I had 1 in my side. I had a season in my side, which we'll get to. So I had access to 6 snipes. To be fair, with seizing the advantage and jab, I could loop the same jab multiple times in a turn, so it wasn't just 5. It could have been as many jabs. It's whatever many jabs I drew that turn. We got a couple 1x's. We got a reset, and you're so obvious. A 1x reset. It's 4-check, low block. It's a reset. It's great. It came in handy in top 32, so not gonna lie, handy. We had a 1x Petty Squabbles. The response was more important than the commit our character to draw to, but if we're looking for more attacks, I did do 1 time offensively Petty Squabbles, and it just didn't pan out. But you know, I still had 2 blocks in hand for the next turn because I just pumped the brakes and moved on. So that was a good 1x. I don't think I would want to play any more than just the 1, just because, again, I'm not a big fan of discard costs. Call me weak, call me pathetic, whatever. I hate discard costs in a character that does not plus on their hand size very much. Going to the sideboard. These are my boys. They were on the Power of Friendship was this weekend because I had my buddies Church, Brian, Rodney, and Marco on the back of my Kirishima. So it was a Power of Friendship all weekend. So Team Urameshi carried me through. So we had 2 Face Shield. They came in once all weekend. Stuff is too fast nowadays, unless you have really, really, really good speed hate. And I was just kind of lucky that I sided them in against the Midoriya focus attack deck. And after they didn't want to stun me because I had Urso, it can't be fixed. So I had like 5 or 6 foundations. So I always just block on a 7, check a 5, commit. And then respond, remove. But other than that, it never came in the rest of the weekend. If I would have seen the throw hate, if I would have seen like a throw deck, obviously, but I didn't, like 320 odd people, it's just crazy, the odds, you know. 2 Forcing Surrender. Again, more Tokiyami hate, more Momo hate, just card pool clog hate. Plus I needed more low blocks that were actually decent. Sometimes I'd side them in. 3 Learning the Standards, which is part of the Tokiyami package. Top 32, sided these in. I would normally take the Apathetics out and like a 1x something I don't really think I need, like, or maybe like Petty Squabbles, or usually it was Apathetic and like 1 Pull No Punches. And then I'd side these in. I would replace Celebrity Status actually with these, because surviving was more important than looping momentum. So Robbie won game 1 in top 32, and then I sided these 5 pieces in. I saw this in my opening hand, right here. I kept it, and I only built 3 of it. Didn't care. I was fine with that. So yeah, learning the standards. Don't know if it's gonna I don't know if it's gonna see any look into the main board, because my main board's really tight at 60. I liked 60. It felt really good. So if anything, I would probably flip-flop the You're So Obvious and this. But I like having the damage reset main board. Speaking of the damage reset, we got another 1X. We got the second copy of You're So Obvious for the damage reset, and if we needed it. Normally, I was fine with the 1X because he has kind of a damage reset on his face, so it was fine. The fourth copy is Chivalrous. Didn't sight it in all weekend. Didn't sight it in. It's now a hardened uppercut because the +0 high block means more. But yeah, and then the fourth copy of Seizing the Advantage, so we have an extra snipe on our side if we need it. That never came in either because I thought three was a really, in the matchups that I had, 3 was a really good number. I saw it when I wanted it. It was available, and it just worked really well as a 3X in a 6-hand size. So let me clean this up real quick, and we'll talk about the event in total. So everyone knows with the video we had yesterday and the announcements, I was top 8. I think I was 8th or 7th. I don't remember. I kind of want to talk about the event in short. The event was great. Venue was nice, super nice. The hotel was really nice. We had an entire floor to ourselves. We had a giant room where like 200 of us fit, or like 250 of us fit. And then there was the bad kids room, which was kind of funny. It was the auxiliary room. So if you were in there, you were a bad kid. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Don't ever go in there. But like they had nice banners. They had like a bunch of stuff all over the place. It was super cool. And then they had gunslinging. I did play in this. They had gunslinging in a third room. So we had like 3 rooms. And around the outside of the stairs, like we had Legendary Wolf, Carta Magica, PPG, and Rochester CCG as like the main vendors. So that was cool. We had like 4 vendors. It was really neat. But the bathroom was really accessible. It was like no more than like a minute walk, if even. They kept us hydrated. They kept filling these water like jugs or like things on the sides, and they had enough room for like the stream to be on one side and then the actual stream game like on the other side of the room, which was pretty sick. Yeah, there was a lot of space. The tables were very spacious. You heard Keenan talk about this in the video in our Nats wrap up. But like my matches, standard was fun, except for that dumb action deck. That deck is just cancer, and I hate it. But every match I played was great. Going into the real, like I didn't care how I did in standard. I didn't really need. I don't care about a character card. And it just didn't. It didn't interest me to do really well. I just wanted to play something fun, and I played Kotal Khan, so thank you, shout out to Tim Keefe for building me the deck and bringing it, which I had a blast playing. But that night, I was really struggling with some like slots in my deck, and my deck was like at 66 cards, and I just didn't like it. It just didn't feel right. So I cut like 6 cards, and I'm like, well, what are we gonna do? And so I was like, I want to play all these cards. Like, I want to play Baker. I want to play Homage. I want to play all Petty Squabbles. It can't be fixed. All this stuff. And I'm just trying to piece stuff together. And I went with just like, well, Travis later coined it during Swiss the next day that I just Frankensteined this deck together. I took ideas from Ben Lambright's deck, Paul Baker's deck, one of my locals. Jacob Johnson was a huge influence. Andrew Duvall's deck, talking to Tim Keefe and Matt Childress and my boys at UA, and just getting random, just reading the Discord, just getting people's thoughts about different cards and all that. And a lot of it is personal preference. Like when you go to a giant tournament, you kind of want to play with what you're comfortable with. And everybody knows I'm the All Might 3 guy, but it's just like I like that like big bodied, not like a 5-hander size, but like a resilient character. Like All Might 3 is very resilient, and K2 is very resilient in that. Not that the fact that he's like, whatever, say what you will, errated, banned, whatever, but like the character itself is very resilient, and I think that like speaks to me. Like it's kind of weird, like in a personal level, like in my heart. It just feels like he's a rock. Obviously, he's like a rock. It's weird. He's a rock, to pardon the pun, and he can like really hold up against. He can weather the storm, and it's safe. You know, like not like safe as in like it's a safe pick or whatever, but it kind of is. But like he really rewards you for taking the correct lines, and he punishes your opponent for trying to overreach or taking the wrong lines. He really does that. Kind of like how All Might 3 does when he punishes your opponent for playing the game, you know, for having cards in their hand. And it was really neat. Rounds were awesome. Started off playing a Gamer Toga. I die game 1 if Will checks a 5. Luckily, I didn't, so I won that game. He won the die roll, so going second is no stranger to me. I suck at winning die rolls. I'm really bad at it. So it was kind of nice to, see that holds true. That going second isn't a death sentence in this game still. Round 2, I played against Dan Buchanan's All Might 2. That thing scares the shit out of me. I've lost to that multiple times on webcam events. After I figured out he wasn't playing instant explosive release, it was a different story, because I could just eat his first attack and not worry about it. He had some sick prominence. He killed me with a prominence burn type thing. That was sick. I liked that. It was a really neat deck. Round 3, going into lunch, I played Corey Aguilar and his Eraserhead 1 deck, which that guy plays out of his mind. Like, again, it came down to if he checks a 5, I die, and he checked a 3, and we played a 1 hour and like 8-minute barn burner 1-0 going into lunch, which was nuts. Segue into lunch. Basically, my only slop from the weekend for the venue is they had one restaurant with like 300 people. Unless you like Diner Dashed or Door Dashed or whatever they call it, like app food stuff, you were waiting 45 minutes for your food. Food was fantastic though. Like me and Colby got a brisket burger, and it was good cold. We were like, what if this like tastes delicious warm? Only ate half of it. I didn't want to get that after lunch slowdown. I wanted to stay fresh and sharp. Round 4, I played against the Midoriya 2 Funny Punch deck, Focus Attack. Once I learned to hold on my mids, I wasn't scared. I was just like, okay, I'll hold on my mids. No biggie. Round 5 was a great match. I got to play Pippa playing Midnight. She almost murdered me in both games. Like, if she has another attack in hand, I die in game 1. And if she checks a 5 instead of a 3, I die in game 2. She was using some really cool tech, like good, evil versus good, and somewhat dark shadow. She was doing her best Tokiyami impression, and it almost panned out. She did top cut, so congratulations to Pippa for making top cuts. That was awesome. We're going to try to get her on the podcast coming up in the next couple of days, or it's already been recorded and released, depending on when the guys put this out. So we'll see. We're almost on 30 minutes, so I'll try to hurry up. Round 6 was Scott. He was playing the only time I played the mirror all day. It came down to 3 games. He beat me in game 1 because I didn't build a chivalrous to make him cycle in the middle of an attack to win. I screamed at him in game 2. I crushed him, and then game 3 he crushed me. So congratulations, Scott also top. So fantastic. Round 7 I played Xavier playing Toro 2. Had never played against this character except in the draft, so I didn't know what to expect. I just knew I wanted to stay in that 6 to 7 foundations, and then I saw that he was the good symbol, and so I just went into deadlock and didn't care, because good has no answer for deadlock other than pull no punches, and I'm not scared of that because I have pieces of snipe to kill it. And then I had Prehensile Tail online, which they don't have throw hate, so I just killed him. Game 2 was back and forth until I had like a 5, 6, 7 attack string, I don't remember, and won. That was round 8. Round No, that was round 8. Round 7 was me. Because I forgot. Jacob Johnson blew me out, blew my doors off 2-0 with his Momo deck. I love the dude, but fuck you. I love the guy. But his deck was designed to beat Kirishima, and I knew that, and he won the die roll, and I was just like, ugh. So I only got the regular Richard Flexum signed by him, not an XR, which is sad. Then round 8 was Xavier. Round 9, I had been talking with Jose Huscanga before round 8. We were just like, final round, I hope our opponent wants to ID if we're in the position to. And I yelled at him across the room when pairings were up. I'm like, Jose, we're IDing. And I shook his hand in the air and walked over, and we set it up. And we waited to see if people behind us were playing or if they were all IDing. Luckily, a bunch of people started playing behind us, so we were the top 6-2s, so we felt pretty safe. Ended up being we ID'd. I got it. I told them before anything, I was like, if one of us gets in, I'm, no salt or whatever. And he's like, no. And I'm like, if we both don't get in, I guess poo-poo on us. So I ended up getting in. He ended up finishing in like a few places behind me. I got in at 31st. So that meant I was going second all day, which was okay. I didn't mind. I won with all my 3 going second all day. I'm bad at winning die rolls. My luck is bad, I guess. So top 32 was against Robbie Reitz playing Tokiyami. He crushed it all day. The bird was hot. So I knew my game plan going in was grip my hardened uppercuts like my life depended on it. Do not go in unless I have 5 attacks and enough foundations to facilitate that. I was playing very cautious game 1. I lost. Game 2, I sighted in those pieces. Wasn't even worried about it. Took him down. He had a 3 build in game 3. Was kind of unlucky. I built a squabbles. He played a crow and frog. Checked a 3. Had to commit 2 pieces. Had a stronger in darkness. Used that. I committed with petty squabbles. And then after that, it was just to the races, and it was just kill him as fast as possible. And I had gripped like I was able to. So top 16. I'm waiting on my buddy River Cook and their game against Cameron Caldwell, not Tamron Cardwell, but Cameron Caldwell, who is also a buddy of mine. I've known Cameron for a while. He lives up in Upper Indiana. They have a small play group. They're really dedicated. They love the game. Ends up being River does not make it, so it's kind of a blessing in disguise, because I really don't want to fight my friend to go fight for money, because it'd just be really weird and awkward. River was gracious enough to just give me some tips, because I want to know what's going on, because every Kirishima has its own little thing. And ended up being Cameron was playing the punch package with Brutish Swagger, which is cool. I'm not as high on Brutish Swagger as a lot of people. I don't I draw a bunch of cards and you discard a bunch of cards and all that fun stuff. But he was playing more of a attrition-based deck. He had like Harden, Resistance, Super Regen. He was playing an attrition-based deck where he would just try to last and outlast you and then kill you when he had the hand. It kind of goes in where I block a lot, and there comes a turn where I just go in and I kill him. Game 2, going second, I kind of have control of the match a bit. We go back and forth. He has a really, really deep string where it's like Texas Smash, and I'm just like, Jesus, stop attacking me. And he plays a Texas Smash, and I'm able to commit Kirishima because I block with hardened uppercuts, and it can't be fixed. Because I said, his chops are going to kill me. He's going to have to kill me with chops, is what I thought to myself. I was going to grip all my +1 mids and my +1 highs. I was going to build everything else. He's just going to have to kill me with chops, and he didn't. So I was able to block well enough and survive and kill him with some attacks to get to top 8, which I immediately popped off and ran around outside, and I was just so excited. And then came in and apologized for popping off because it wasn't anything towards him. I was just very relieved that I got to top 8 because that was the goal. Leading up to the tournament, I don't know if anyone in Discord, I was I was really, really feeling the stress, like physically, like I wasn't sleeping well. I just wasn't feeling well all week. I had this really bad mindset, this negative mindset. And as the day went on, obviously fun is winning and winning is fun, but that 5-0 start really got me believing, like we got a chance here. We just got to get in, just get in, and anything can happen. And we get the top 8, and like it just felt like something was like just really released off me. Like those I've been playing this game for a while. I was the heartbeat of the content scene for a while, and just things happened where I had to walk away, and it was just this culmination of this entire year, and the All Might 3 win, the Gen Con top, the other provisional top, just I had to walk away from 2 regionals, 4 and 1, because I had family plans, so I couldn't like get on in points because there was no way I was going to accrue enough points. So top 8, either in the in-person Nats or online Nats, were the goal. Or there was an outside shot that I get the MVP vote, which after Tamarin was announced, that dream was crushed, which congratulations to Tamarin for making it. Can't wait to see you in at Worlds. It's going to be great, buddy. It's going to be so much fun. So like the pressure was really on, and I really felt it. Like, I don't know, like my buddy Rob, my old co-host, said like this game really does an emotional number on me with like the ups and downs. Like it's just, I don't know what it is. It's like I go hard. If I'm into something, it's not half-assed. It's like I put my entire being into it. So it was immense relief that I topped, and after that I didn't care what happened. Sure, winning the event would have been sick, not gonna lie, would have been sick, but me and Travis, like I even told Travis, it's like, man, it's like if you beat me I don't care. It's like I'm in, it doesn't matter. Like me and Deshaun Fulbright were talking in between rounds, and it's like, dude, so he's like, I gotta play Kevin, I don't care, I hope he beats me 2-0 so I can just go relax. And I think they went 3 games, so Deshaun made a game out of it, which is awesome. Which I'm excited to see him too, to see him at Worlds and or HLC, I should say. Yeah, me and Travis had a barn burner. He higher seed, goes first, fine. He builds like 5 or 6. Ends up coming down to a penultimate turn where I have 3 attacks. I have 3 attacks, a seizing, and 2 foundations, and I bait him into using his petty squabbles to give me 2 attacks to steal game 1. Game 2, he screams out to like 6 foundations on turn 1. And I'm just like, wow. Well, this sucks, and my deck kept just giving me attacks, and I couldn't catch up on build, and it was just, I just died. And then game 3 was super close. It came down to me. Either looking back, I probably could have resequenced my attacks better, but I went 5 to check a 5, 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 check a 3, check a 3, check a 3 on the one I could have killed him with. So if I would have resequenced it a bit, maybe I get there. He had some outs for sure. So hindsight being 2020, but congratulations to Barrett Bryant. So he went in to face Barrett. Barrett killed him, and Barrett faced Tim. And Tim lost to Barrett. Barrett played out of his mind. It was great. Congratulations, buddy. Well deserved. You earned it. You are not washed up like JJ said you were. So, but yeah, I just want to I guess in closing in this 40-minute video of me rambling like an old man, I just want to thank everyone in the community. I want to thank my team up here in Rockford. All you guys. I want to thank JJ and Travis and Nate for being there and inspiring and just being there as buddies. I appreciate it. Tim Keefe, I love you, man. You're like a brother. My boys at UA Podcast. The greatest times are ahead. I just can't wait to get to the HLC. It's so exciting, and I cannot wait to see what's in store for this game. So I guess that's it. Heartfelt goodbye, everybody. We love you, and I guess I love you. My dogs love you, and we'll talk to you later, and we'll see you on the next deck profile. Hopefully, an HLC winning deck profile. Ooh. That would be awesome. So stay tuned for more content. Like, comment, subscribe. Do the algorithm things below. Let me know what you liked about Nats. Give me your props and slops, and we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.